whatever that is. And then we have an iTunes review, and then that's it. Okay, so Deckard Cain is in the Nexus. He has a really low win rate. Now, obviously, it's only been 36 hours, so not really not much weight to put on that. But what do you guys think about Deckard Cain? So let's go to Scott.
His healing output doesn't seem as insane as I thought it'd be. I guess that's the number one thing that we were kind of concerned about. And I mean, yeah, he seems okay, but I think it's definitely a learning curve, not just for the people that are playing him, but for the people that are playing with him to understand how he heals and, it's going to create strategies of where am I going to throw these healing potions to, somebody gets injured to go heal here, and just to help set up his crowd control too, particularly his route. It's fairly easy to avoid if you don't have somebody to help you get somebody ensnared or slowed beforehand. So it's my initial take on him.
All right,
cast range. Sorry.
Go for it. I'll back.
The cast range on the route is massive. Like he can control a huge
both
amount of space
W
really
and
far
E.
away.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's way too far, don't you think? Like he has Malfurion has to be somewhat close to cast the route, not Deckard. He can cast it like behind walls and shit.
But then it's also, if you're smart about your positioning, you can really dodge it. Unless they take Sapphire at level 1, which is the really strong slow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it takes 2.25 seconds for his route to go off. That's plenty of time to move out of it, even though you can cast it from afar, and it's a pretty big radius. So
if you move away from Cain, directly away at a 45-degree angle, that's like the best route to, because his triangle, the skinny side of the triangle is pointed away from Deckard. Am I explaining this correctly?
Yeah. So the tip of the triangle is pointed where he faces.
English. But
tip, right?
I played Deckard yesterday till level 8. I'm really liking him. Goon and I have been spamming the hell out of him. A lot of people, are a little bit underwhelmed, but I think it's playstyle wise, it's very unique. It's like a mix of Anna and Lily. What?
Oh no! Also, like the other players have to get used to the fact that like if you throw out because if you press Q on a player and they move, then the flask will go when the initial click happened, right? So your teammates either have to compensate for that or you have to compensate for their movement as well.
Yeah, that's what I was saying when I initially tried him out in try mode, was that in these lower levels, you're going to throw out potions and other people are going to take it. Some guys loses 1 HP and there's a guy next to him that's half life. The 1 HP guy is going to take it, stuff like that. So I think he's going to be not as good silver level. I haven't really seen him, even though he hasn't been banned. So that's usually a sign that's a little bit underwhelming. Although I will backtrack on what I said earlier about not buying him. I'm going to buy him because he's not insta ban. Because I can actually play him. I can actually play him. Unlike Phoenix, where I freaking bought and then couldn't play for 3 weeks. So.
Well, you can play him now, right?
I can play him now.
Well,
but it's hard to do that now in the middle of Bush League, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The problem is that everyone bans Phoenix still. That's why you can't play Phoenix. You can buy him, but you never actually get an opportunity to play him. But with Deckard, no one cares.
Phoenix isn't that good right now, though. I mean, he's decent, but I think the bans against him are unjustified because I don't think he's that impactful.
Yeah, well, the Phoenix is a carryover from the previous meta, right? And nothing has like popped out of this patch that really screams, "Oh, ban me!" Right? Besides Phoenix, who's the carryover? Like, who's this patch's Phoenix right now? It's really hard to say.
It's just maybe? Whoever you don't want to play against. Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
I'd ban Maiev because that she can be difficult to play against.
But she's also often first banned too, right?
Yeah, and she deserves it. Like her setup potential is too good.
Yeah, outside of that, I'd just go to map specific
Yeah.
Mhm.
or ban one of the healers, either Malfurion or Stukov.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's kind of the default.
But
Or Lucio.
I'm loving Deckard Cain, man. He's my shit. He really meshes well with me for some reason, and it doesn't seem like the rest of the community has really caught on to him. But if that means I get to play him more, then I'm fine with that. He has a lot of we were talking about last week. His utility and his healing are off the charts, and that is pretty much confirmed, in my opinion. The biggest thing holding him back in terms of win rate, I think it's just the potion mechanic. People not seeing potions on the ground, not used to the visual. Like it's sometimes it really blends into a team fight. Like it's really hard to see potions in the middle of all the spell effects going up. So I think if they up the brightness of like the potion or put like a little flash
Sparkle.
on it, yeah, sparkle, maybe that'll help with that. But his 1, 4, and 7, it's pretty diverse depending on what you want. His 13 and 16 are pretty much on lock in my opinion. You got to go both trade and trade for 13, 16. But level 20, if you like gem build, then you can go gem at level 20. But I personally like going flask, infinite flask at level 20. Because when it refills, it also, when you pick it up again, it still gains the benefits from the previous talents that you picked for potions. So if you picked level 4, the one that gives you a shield, at level 20, you put it down and it refills. You still get a shield from the next potion pickup. So it's a lot of value. And with level 6, what's up?
Didn't you say that the Infinite Flask is OP in Discord?
In my opinion, yeah. It's kind of like level 20 Lucio when he first launched. The ability to switch the songs to double dip on healing twice. Yeah, it's kind of like that. But
so Goonhots says is that Deckard Cain is getting banned in every game in Masters now.
I mean, I believe it, I guess. But that could also be in response to he's a new hero, no one wants to play with him. Or there's also this new hero sucks ass, right? Based on the Hot Slogs reaction, and then they ban him so people don't pick him.
Oh, is that really? Do people do that?
Yeah. Oh, I do that all the time. My teammate is highlighting Deckard. I know in my opinion, that Deckard sucks ass. Oh, I'm gonna ban Deckard. And then when they call me out on it, I'm gonna say, "Oh, sorry, I don't want the other team to have it." That shit happens all the time.
But at the lower levels, if you do that to a player, if someone's hovering over Probius and you ban Probius, they just flame.
Masters will deal with it. They don't give a shit.
Yeah, Masters players care more about winning than being petty.
Yeah.
Unlike Fringe.
Well, it just sets the environment to be hostile, I think.
Once you get past a certain point, like once you're past like Diamond 3 plus, right? You're investing time into the game to actually improve and rank up, and certain realities you have to accept of the draft might not go my way sometimes, deal with it and shit like that. So
all right, so thank you, San, for subscribing via Twitch Prime. That's well appreciated.
Oh,
so I have a quick question. Yes, Bacon.
And on top of that, he's bugged at the moment, so
yeah, I was actually going to ask about that. So it looks as though that his level 4 talent, which one is it? Is it
the rejuvenation one?
Yeah, the rejuvenation potion is giving 10 points to almost every resource. So it gives 10 energy to Zarya, 10 brew to Chen, 10 rounds to Tracer, and so forth. So it seems as though that it's bugged. So maybe you could do a cheese comp with Zarya and Shen and just give them infinite brew.
I don't think that bug. The only one where I think that's really strong against is Tracer, because she won't have to reload. All the other ones, I don't think that's going to be that strong, even though it's considered a bug.
Well, Chen's is kind of big. Because
it's Chen.
Chen's not awful right now, and he's also his main mode of gathering energy is to just stand still, and it's easy for Deckard Cain to hit those shots. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but all right. So another thing is that I have a quick question. So if someone goes, if you're on the friendly team with Deckard Cain and they go the stay a while and listen, and you get 4 members of the enemy team in the massive ultimate, what are you supposed to do if you're the friendly team? Do you just attack the squishy that's being like what do you
not AOE.
Yeah,
don't wake all of them up.
Unless you got a KT combo or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, just focus the squishy, and then if you want, like, follow up some other better CC, like throw in an APOC or throw in some sort of other setup ability.
Ideally, you're on voice comms, and you could immediately tell the team we're gonna focus this target. That way, the reaction's fast enough.
So you're saying if people are caught in Deckard's ultimate, don't use Johanna's W.
Yes.
No, but use the blind, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the question though.
But yeah.
Go ahead, all backpack.
Yeah. Which ultimate? Lorenado or Stay a While?
Lorenado.
Lorenado?
Yeah.
Seriously?
I think Stay a While.
CC?
I still don't get it. I still don't get the.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Well, you got.
Are you fucking kidding me? Lorenado is fucking overpowered, man.
You can knock people back into your team to set up kills for your team. Its range is pretty big, so you don't got to really put yourself at that much of a risk to do that kind of play either.
And then you know what happens?
There's a ton of utility with it.
Yep. Let's say there's an Illidan on the enemy team and you get hunted. What you do is you turn your ass towards the direction of your nearest gate. You press Alt-R, and suddenly you have a tornado on your ass, and Illidan can't get near you because of the tornado. Things like that. It's not really possible with Stay a While. Like in ultra coordinated comps, I can see Stay a While getting value, but until the meta catches up to don't fucking touch the other guys when they're on their sleep, because it's really easy to break them out of sleep. A lot of incidental damage negates the value of Stay a While. So in my opinion, you can set up a lot of plays. Like you can do WE, and while that's going off, throw out a tornado in their path they're trying to run away and knock them into the E. Things like that.
Okay, I see.
If they're near a wall, you can kind of like throw it along the path of the wall, so it kind of body blocks them and pins them into the wall, and they can't use abilities because they're constantly getting knocked into the wall, kind of like Chen's barrel, right? So things like that are possible.
The only thing I really heard that you said was that you have your opponents hit the whole team. I think that for sure is going to happen. Like everything else.
Yeah.
Of everything else, that's the one thing that makes me think maybe Stay a While and Listen isn't as good.
I mean, also, Lorenado is also pretty telegraphed. You put it down, and then you knock
there's a
whoever
delay.
you want to die, towards your team, kind of like Chen Barrel. And you can use it on gates. There's a lot of narrow choke points and maps that you can use to push away team or isolate people. It's amazing.
So, all right. I had a question, but I forgot. Oh, I just remembered. So, is it kind of like do you think that Deckard Cain may have a low win rate, but then once he's played in HEC and people see how to play, you can remember like how Blaze was, right? He had a low win rate, and then like I remember Goon was saying that like he's just really good, that just people just don't play him properly. Do you think that's gonna be the same thing with Deckard Cain, where like once Smexy gets a hold of him and plays him in HGC, or if Kirsten gets to play him, then like people will be like, holy shit, he's really good.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
maybe.
But he does need protection, though. He does need protection.
He requires protection. You're probably not going to want to choose him if the enemy team has a dive comp. There's just a lot of factors around him that I don't see him being like a really good pick all the time like Blaze would be.
Yeah, he also has the morales factor in that he has to be with someone at all times. He is useless by himself. It's not like Radar can get a camp.
Yeah, but
single
like if you're
biggest
Rhaegar, you
weakness-
probably don't want to be doing camps anymore anyway. If you're Rhaegar for the most part, right?
Yeah, but I'm saying that like, his utility outside of like controlling space and healing is really poor. He does no damage.
Yeah, you
Like,
can't go soak away because if you're doing that, you're probably better giving up that experience and being with your team.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like, what I haven't noticed is that a lot of people get rooted in that E ability from Deckard Cain. I thought like no one would ever get rooted in it, but it actually happens quite a lot.
Also, as Basin said, right, the triangle is drawn so that it points away from him, right? And I didn't know that till now. I said, oh, that's all. Now I know where to avoid.
Sometimes, even though I know the direction, like when it's drawing, am I thinking to myself, is it gonna draw inwards or outwards? And I get confused, and then by the time I figure it out, it's too late, and I'm rooted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just run to the line so that you could hop on either side really quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His biggest issue by far is hitting potions in hectic team fights. If the team fight
Yes.
spreads out at all, then it gets really hard for him to throw a potion here, throw a potion there. And it's not like you're clicking on somebody to get the heal up 100% if you're in range. Even if you're in range and you throw the potion down, they might not be able to pick it up or you missed. And that's the most feel bad part about his kit. But if you go level 16, the one that gives his trait, an extra cooldown reduction and you have more armor, and level 13, the one that gives your attack more damage and healing, and combine that with Infinite Flask at level 20, you're popping potions left and right, and they're also refilling every 5 seconds. So if the team fight moves, then you can kind of adjust on the fly because you're throwing down a potion every 1.5 seconds. And for those people that you might not be in range with, or you're having a tough time, you can press D. That way the auto attacks that they get heal themselves. So
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
But,
well, anything?
yeah. I'm getting like 130,000 like level 20 healing games.
Jesus.
Yeah. My damage is 4,000, but I get like 130, 440,000.
Yeah, that's the problem
Bacon.
with the.
Yeah.
Bacon, are you going to be playing support on your team in Bush League?
Hell no.
Sure. I'll
No.
Hell no.
Unless he wants to lose, he's not going to play support.
I'm playing support.
He's going to be the carry or the
Cain.
tank.
You're going to usurp Leviathan, huh?
We're playing triple support.
That's the Tower Baron team.
Plus
They
one.
can't focus. Yeah.
I mean, it's double
Hey, I
support's
can't-
good. And triple support. So much healing.
Got to be better.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what's funny is that if Goon had a team, he'd probably run that because he would probably just go Kharazim and just do tons of damage with Kharazim. But I guess we'll never know.
Much damage anymore.
I don't know. I mean, they buffed. They buffed Transcendence, and that actually has the highest win rate in hot slogs anyway.
And the
Even though
pro
everyone
play
goes-
too.
Yeah, even though like the most people go the damage at level 1, but Transcendence has the higher win rate. So I think people are maybe slow to adopt that as well.
Oh. Level 1. Don't go the quest talent. It's bullshit. Go
Yeah,
Sapphire
Obviously.
or Field Study. If you have tanks that you can coordinate with, like Variant Taunt, then go Field Study. You get guaranteed value out of it's like 15% spell power per up to 30% for 14 seconds. So if you get a WE combo and hit 2 heroes for the entire duration of the team fight, you have 30% spell power. And that also affects healing, so it's badass.
All right. Well, any other thoughts on Deckard Cain? All right.
It seems like what Bacon is saying is like, why even go a lot of his utilities options when he can just heal a shit ton anyway?
No, he applies a lot of utility and healing.
But you're saying like his healing is the OP part, like you should focus on that.
Both.
All right.
Yes.
130 is a lot.
Yeah. Also, grab those potions. That was hard to do.
Yeah.
Only if it's meant for you.
Yeah, if it's meant for me or not, I don't know.
One of
I
the
lost 1
biggest things,
HP. It's my
especially
potion.
one of the biggest things is like, yeah, you throw it down in the lane to set up, and they take 1 minion hit. It's like, oh, I'll get a potion. Like, you bitch.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
told you that shit's gonna happen all the time. It's gonna happen all the time. I lost
It-
one.
it-
I got 1 auto attack. I need to refill like get 100 or whatever. Full life.
And then all of a sudden, like, you're trying to heal your tank, and then they get fucking got the like rich level of micro around the potions, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not
Yeah, they dodge
hitting
every
the
single
potion, but
one.
around it. Yeah. Tilting me.
All right, so Warhead Junction got changed. So now